On the other side of the world, there is a country called Happy Land, where the trees are 100 feet tall, and where the sun shines hotter than here. And, as you might very well expect, everybody who lives in Happy Land is as happy as the day is long. Wherever you go, you see smiling faces all around. It's such a happy place that even the flowers seem to smile in Happy Land. And as well as all the people being happy, all the animals in Happy Land are happy as well. If you've never seen a mouse smile, or a cat, or a dog, or even a worm, you go to Happy Land. Now, this story is about somebody who lives there, and who happens to be called Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy is fat, and round, and happy. He lives in a small cottage beside a lake at the foot of a mountain and close to a wood. One day, while Mr. Happy was out walking through the tall trees in those woods near his home, he came across something which was really rather extraordinary. There, in the trunk of one of the very tall trees, was a door. Not a very large door, but nevertheless, a door. A small, narrow, yellow door. I wonder who lives here, thought Mr. Happy to himself. And he turned the handle of that small, narrow, yellow door. The door wasn't locked, and it swung open quite easily. Mr. Happy squeezed his rather large body through the rather thin doorway. Just inside the small, narrow yellow door was a small, narrow, winding staircase leading downwards. The stairs went round and round and down and down and round and round and down and down. Eventually, after a long time, Mr. Happy reached the bottom of the staircase. He looked around and saw, there in front of him, another small, narrow door, but this one was red. Mr. Happy knocked at the door. "Who's there?" said a voice. Sad, squeaky sort of voice. "Who's there?" Mr. Happy pushed open the red door slowly. And who do you think he saw? There, sitting on a stool, was somebody who looked exactly like Mr. Happy, except that he didn't look happy at all. In fact, he looked downright miserable. "Hello, Mr. Happy." "I'm Mr. Happy." "Oh, how are you indeed?" sniffed the person who looked like Mr. Happy but wasn't. "Well, my name's Mr. Miserable, and I'm the most miserable person in the world." "Why are you so miserable?" asked Mr. Happy. "Because I am," replied Mr. Miserable. "How would you like to be happy, like me?" asked Mr. Happy. "I'd give anything to be happy," said Mr. Miserable. "Well, I'm so miserable I don't think I ever could be happy," he added miserably. Mr. Happy made up his mind quickly. "Follow me," he said. "Where to?" asked Mr. Miserable. "Don't argue," said Mr. Happy. And he went out through the small, narrow red door. Mr. Miserable hesitated, and then followed. Up and up the winding staircase they went. Up and round and round and up and round and round and up until they came out through the yellow door and into the wood. "Follow me," said Mr. Happy again, and they both set off through the wood back to Mr. Happy's cottage. Mr. Miserable stayed in Mr. Happy's cottage for quite some time. And during that time, the most remarkable thing happened. Because he was living in Happy Land, Mr. Miserable, ever so slowly, stopped being miserable. The corners of his mouth stopped turning down, and ever so slowly started turning up. And eventually, Mr. Miserable did something that he'd never done in the whole of his life. He smiled, and then he chuckled, which turned into a giggle, which became a laugh. A big, booming, hearty, huge, giant, large, enormous laugh. And Mr. Happy was so surprised that he started to laugh as well. Both of them laughed and laughed. They laughed. They laughed until their sides hurt and their eyes watered. Mr. Miserable laughed and laughed and laughed, and Mr. Happy laughed and laughed and laughed, and because they were laughing so much, everybody who saw them started laughing as well. Even the birds started, and the trees started to laugh at the thought of somebody called Mr. Miserable who just couldn't stop laughing. That really is the end of the story. Except to say that if ever you feel as miserable as Mr. Miserable, well, you know exactly what to do, don't you? Just turn the corners of your mouth up. Go on. Try it.
Welcome to Miseryland. We say welcome, but there really isn't very much to welcome you about it. It's the most miserable place on earth. Miseryland worms look like this. And when the birds wake up in the morning in Miseryland, they don't burst into song, they burst into tears. It really is an awful place. And the king of Miseryland is even worse. He sits on his throne all day long with tears streaming down his face. Oh, I'm so unhappy. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Little Miss Sunshine had been on holiday. She was singing happily to herself as she drove along. Then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw a signpost. To Miseryland.
Miseryland? I never heard of that place before. I'll go there for lunch.
And she drove off down the lane marked Miseryland. After a while, she came to another, much larger sign, which read, No smiling, no laughing, no chuckling. Giggling is strictly forbidden by order of the king.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
She came to the door of the castle. A soldier held up his hand and stopped her. What do you want here? He asked gloomily.
I want to see the king,
said Little Miss Sunshine. And suddenly, she gave him a big smile. You're under arrest, said the soldier.
What for? Why am I under arrest? I've only just arrived in Miseryland.
You're under arrest for a most serious crime. Most serious indeed. Come with me at once. The soldier marched little Miss Sunshine through the huge door, and across a courtyard, and through another huge door, and up an enormous staircase, and along a long corridor, and through another huge door, and into a gigantic room. And at the end of the gigantic room sat the king, crying his eyes out.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Your Highness, I have arrested this person for a most serious crime.
What a crime.
Well, she smiled at me.
She did what?
She smiled at me, repeated the soldier.
But why is smiling not allowed?
Laughed little Miss Sunshine.
She laughed at me.
Why not?
She chuckled.
She chuckled at me.
Little Miss Sunshine giggled.
She giggled.
Went the king, and he burst into tears.
But
again.
why are these things not allowed?
Asked little Miss Sunshine.
Because this is Misery Land, and they've never been allowed. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, I was so unhappy before you arrived, but now I'm twice as unhappy.
Little Miss Sunshine looked at him.
But wouldn't you like to be happy?
She asked.
Well, of course I would,
Said the king.
but how can I be? I mean, this is Misery Land.
Little Miss Sunshine thought.
Come with me.
She said. You can't talk to me like that, sniffed the king.
Ah, don't be silly. Come on.
She replied, and she led him across the gigantic room and through the huge door to where her car was parked.
Get in.
She said. Little Miss Sunshine drove the crying king back to the large notice,
Dry your eyes.
and then from her handbag she produced a large pen. 5 minutes later she'd finished.
There. Now you can be happy.
Do you know what it said now?
You are now entering Laughterland. Smiling, laughing, chuckling, giggling permitted by order of the king.
But I don't know how to be happy. I mean, I've never tried it.
Nonsense. It's really very easy. Just you do this.
And she smiled a big smile. The king tried the smile.
Not bad. Try this.
And she gave a little chuckle. And the king tried a little chuckle.
Getting better.
Then she giggled. And the king tried a giggle.
You've got it.
Then she laughed. So I have. He laughed. Yes. Now, you see, now I'm the king of Laughterland. As little Miss Sunshine arrived home, there was Mr. Happy out for an evening stroll. Hello, he grinned. Where have you been?
Miseryland.
She replied. Miseryland? I didn't know there was such a place.
Well, actually, there isn't.
Oh, I see.